When I think of my grandma, Irene Rosenquist, I think of a timeless classic beauty. As a child, I remember her latest fashionable clothing, her blonde, wavy hair, her deep blue eyes, red lips and fingernails. I remember sitting next to her watching her draw and crochet. She could draw anything small, in small detail and color, and she crocheted all of us dresses, hats, and ponchos. In the summer, she would take us for walks, and then we would get frozen yogurt at Winter Dairy. At night, I would sit next to her on the piano bench while she played beautiful music, and the family all stood around and danced. She collected shiny, miniature, antique grand pianos, and when all of the kids would come to visit, we would get told not to touch. We pretended to play like Grandma. Our tiny fingers fit on the tiny keys just perfect. Today I look through pictures of her when she was young and the way she looked like the gorgeous 1950s women in the movies with the dark red lipstick and wavy updos and black formal evening gowns. She had one knee popped in a natural feminine pose. I saw pictures of her with my mom in matching Easter dresses and my Uncle Steve and Uncle Mark dressed up in suits. My Grandpa Rosie told me about the first day he met her. She was wearing a polka dot summer dress, and he said that it was love at first sight. They sat and ate lunch together. They had been married for 62 years, traveled to many different places. I saw their wedding picture, and she had the same beautiful smile as I remember. Their love story reminds me of the movie The Notebook by Nicholas Sparks. It's a newer 1950s romance about a couple who falls in love during the war, and it tells how they met and raised a family. He tells their story out of her notebook and in her rest home to help her remember him as she suffered from a great memory loss. The story he tells is the only thing that helps her remember. In the end, they spent their last moments together. Grandma was forever timeless, classy, and incredibly beautiful. In her later years, she still had her hair curled, makeup, nail, and toenails painted, and the latest fashionable outfit on. She never let herself go, and she would always tell us how young she was. She truly made an impression on my life, and I am grateful and blessed to be her granddaughter. On the day of her passing, we were all around her bed. She was on life support and in a coma, but she still was so incredibly strong. She reached out to all of us. We talked to her and told her how much we loved her, and that everything would be okay. She would squeeze our hands, and we saw her facial expressions. When Grandpa came into the room, we could all see that she needed him and how much she loved him. I was so grateful I was there in her last moments. She had her husband, her sister, and all of her kids and grandkids next to her. She will be in our hearts forever. I love you, Grandma Rosie.